Hi, my name is Inakyu, and a while ago I made a video where I recommended anime to beginners, sort of like a stepping stone for getting into the world of anime. And since that got posted, so many people commented that they've seen all the shows on that list. Well, clearly you're not a beginner. And so with that, I thought it was about time for me to make a sequel for a more advanced audience that watches anime. So if you clicked on this video, that means you either don't know what to watch right now, or you're here to judge me based on what I recommend. But without further ado, here are some anime recommendations for shows that you already like. So let's start off these recommendations with our first show, Hunter x Hunter. If you like Hunter x Hunter as much as I do, then you have to watch Magi, The Labyrinth of Magic, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Mob Psycho 100. Just like Hunter, Magi is all about the adventure. Both start off very light and comedic and then become a lot darker as you get into the meat of the story. Both of these shows are amazing, you won't be let down. Next we have Yu Yu Hakusho, a classic. Made by the same author as Hunter, honestly, Yu Yu Hakusho walked so Hunter can run. Great villains, great world building, and great fights. That's all I'm gonna say. And then lastly for Hunter, we have Mob Psycho 100. This show just fuels me as an anime fan, but I have to recommend it to you, especially if you like Hunter. The characters and setting may be different, but the overall themes of friendship and action scenes definitely remind me of Hunter. Just put this on your watch list no matter what. I recommend this show so much. Moving on to our next show, we have Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Kaguya-sama is one of the more interesting rom-coms that has come out in a while to me. So if you're trying to find a similar anime that just gives off the same vibes while watching, you have to watch these. Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, Boarding School Juliet, and My Little Monster. Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, much like Kaguya-sama, is a romantic comedy. While Kaguya definitely is all about the mind games, Nozaki's comedy comes off more like a parody to normal romance anime. Both of these shows take confessing your love to someone way beyond what it needs to be. I definitely thought about this show when Kaguya came out. Another show that I'd have to recommend for it though is Boarding School Juliet. Just as how Kaguya-sama is based off of the Japanese story The Tale of Princess Kaguya, this show is based off of Romeo and Juliet, but in a rom-com sense. Two people that want to be together, but nobody can ever find out? That's all you need. And then another show in the same vein as Kaguya-sama is My Little Monster. Our main girl here is just like Kaguya, but instead of her having a crush on someone like Miyuki, who is proper and on top of things while being an A student, the main guy in My Little Monster is a troublemaker who skips class despite being at the top of it. Overall, My Little Monster does give off the same vibes as Kaguya-sama. I'd say to watch this show, especially if you like a little more romance. But from a rom-com, let's flip the switch and recommend some shows for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Can you tell that I don't really have an order for this recommendation list? Full Metal is definitely in my top 5 favorite anime of all time, so if you like FMA, then you have to check out Baccano, Dr. Stone, and Soul Eater. Other than the fact that Baccano deals with alchemy, it's a very character-driven show. It also has great comedy on top of a deep and intricate story. Just like Full Metal, it's such a good show. And it's also really cool to see how Baccano deals with the concept of immortality compared to Full Metal Alchemist. I'd also say Baccano is a must-watch no matter what. On top of that, I'm recommending Dr. Stone. Both these shows follow two insanely smart characters and how they sort of shape the world around them, but instead of alchemy, Dr. Stone follows science. This show was really unique to me when it came out, but if you're not really looking for shows with the same atmosphere as Full Metal but more of the hype, then you should watch Soul Eater. Like FMA, Soul Eater has a very special place in my heart, and overall just has the same vibes and tones as each other. From the comedy and character interactions to the overall seriousness and stakes in the fight scenes, Soul Eater gives that to you. Both I'd say are pretty different, but overall just the same vibes. Just watch it. Now, from one shonen to the next, I'm gonna give recommendations for Demon Slayer. So if you like this show, you have to watch Jujutsu Kaisen, Claymore, and Fire Force. These shows next to each other, a no-brainer. Both of these shows have amazing animation, a great set of characters, and an overall similar atmosphere. From the comedy to the action scenes, this show won't disappoint, I swear. Another show that you should watch if you like Demon Slayer is Claymore. While Demon Slayer takes place in like feudal Japan, Claymore takes place in medieval Europe. Both shows follow a main character hunting down a demon for revenge. Both shows are great, and if you're looking for something that's a little more serious than Demon Slayer, Claymore is the move. But other than Claymore, another show that's pretty similar is Fire Force. On top of the amazing opening songs, both main characters join a monster hunting organization after a tragic encounter with a demon. If you want to enter a pretty different world than Demon Slayer but overall has the same amazing fights, then yes, watch Fire Force. Next after Demon Slayer, we have my favorite shoujo romance anime ever, Fruits Basket. The post-anime depression I had after watching this show left me with a void. So here are some shows to fill yours. Kami-sama Kiss, Inuyasha, and Angel Beats. Kami-sama Kiss and Fruits Basket definitely give off the same vibes. I could not help but think of Fruits Basket on the first episode watching Kami-sama Kiss. Literally every part of that show, even though it's a very different story. And on top of that, how the main girl affects every person that she meets. If you eat up romance, then you will be eating up the scenes in this show. It's great. Our next show is Inuyasha, a somewhat longer show than Fruits Basket, but honestly is all about the slow burn. If you're looking for a unique show with another hot-headed main boy, then yes, this is the show. The tension, the scenes of him slowly becoming a better person because of our main girl, amazing. I can rewatch both of these shows over and over, along with our next recommendation, Angel Beats. Our next recommendation doesn't really focus on the romance department of the show, but definitely on the feels. From the comedy to the more serious tones of this show, Angel Beats will have you bawling and laughing as much as Fruits Basket did. Like, if you're in the mood to cry every episode, this is the anime to watch. Moving on to our next show, Banana Fish. If you like crime, mystery, and thrills, then Monster, Great Pretender, and Bungo Stray Dogs have to be on your list. While putting Banana Fish and Monster next to each other, it's kind of odd, it makes sense. Both are extremely dark shows and just so thrilling to watch. Both are very mature shows, and while Banana Fish deals with gang violence, Monster leans in with more detective work. I gotta warn you though, Monster definitely has a lot slower of a pace than Banana Fish, but overall just gives you as much of a ride as Banana Fish does. On top of that, Great Pretender is a must-watch, especially after Banana Fish. Lots of similarities, from an innocent Japanese guy getting caught up with American gangs, and honestly, Great Pretender is like more of a lighthearted version of Banana Fish. This show will definitely satisfy your needs, much like our next show, Bungo Stray Dogs. Tear-jerking moments to amazing fast-paced storytelling. Overall, both are brilliant shows that deal with the mafia. It's dark and has so much emotion, all while being humorous with a great soundtrack. If you like Bungo, you'll like Banana Fish. If you like Banana Fish, you'll like Bungo. Simple as that. Let's move our recommendation list to something a lot more happier. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. If you like Bunny Girl Senpai, then you should definitely add The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Hyoka, and A World God Only Knows to your watch list. I could not help but think of Haruhi while watching Bunny Girl Senpai. Not only is the setting and concept there, but from even the characters and their character arcs. From the sarcastic protagonist to the supernatural chaos. I think if you like Bunny Girl Senpai, you'll like Haruhi Suzumiya a little more. Just saying. Another great pairing for Bunny Girl Senpai is Hyoka. Both involve solving mysteries, and both are so unique and really worth the watch. While Bunny Girl is more supernatural, Hyoka is a lot more grounded. And both shows have main girls that are cute as hell. And lastly, if you like Bunny Girl Senpai, then you'll love my favorite harem anime, A World God Only Knows. From the lovable characters to needing to figure out the supernatural problems of anime girls, the script and the banter is just amazing. This show is so good. It's the harem anime to end all harem anime. It's great. Our next show is Steins Gate, a classic and definitely a must-watch. If you like Steins Gate, then you have to watch Welcome to the NHK, Terror in Resonance, and Noin. From the slightly nutty protagonists in each show, both believe that a secret organization is conspiring against them, and also have a waifu/female partner next to them. The dialogue is witty and smart, and while both start off pretty harmless, Welcome to the NHK delves into a psychological drama that offers an ending that will leave you with something to think about. Both of these shows are so good, and I think you really should experience Welcome to the NHK. Next to that show, we have Terror in Resonance. Mystery thrillers, we love them. Both these shows together will give you the same vibes and chills that can make your heart beat. While one deals with time travel, the other deals with terrorism. If you want to watch another smart thriller, then this is what you should watch next. And then lastly for Steins Gate, I'm recommending Noin, a show that I went into knowing nothing about, but was very happy that I found it. It's a show that also deals with the idea of time and parallel universes. From its endearing characters to the actual story, Noin is a really well-crafted show that I think you'll enjoy if you really like Steins Gate. Yeah, like the more I'm talking about it, I'm just like, Noin was really good. Let's give recommendations for Code Geass. We can't talk about anime without adding mecha and mind games, right? Hands down, Code Geass is one of the most unique anime I've seen. From its storyline and twists, I have to recommend Aldnoah Zero, Guilty Crown, and No Game No Life. While Code Geass feels more like a chess game, Aldnoah Zero is a lot more tactical, if that makes sense. There's mechas, there's war, and despite these similarities, it does have its own unique story. I wouldn't say it's as good as Code Geass, but you know, it's not that bad. I'd say watch it. Another show that reminds me of Code Geass is Guilty Crown. Both of these give off the same vibes on top of the fighting for Japan's freedom. So if you're looking for a show just like Code Geass, but slightly different, I really think this one's for you. Taking away the mecha, we have very similar protagonists who are very smart and very clever. If you appreciated Code Geass's mind games, then this show is all about that. No Game No Life is vibrant and really fun. I just highly recommend this show in general. And last but not least, our final show that we are giving recommendations for, and thank you if you've seen this far into the video, we have Attack on Titan. If you like AOT, then you will be obsessed with Berserk, Vinland Saga, and God Eater. Like, if you just want the same horror and hype as Attack on Titan, you have to watch Berserk. The stories are pretty different, but the violence, the monsters, and the action, incredible. Read the manga, watch it, just whatever. There's a reason why Berserk gets so talked about. Get on it. Our next show is probably one of my favorite anime to come out in recent years, Vinland Saga. A revenge-filled protagonist, amazing character growth with scenes that just leave you speechless. This is that show. Like, I literally had to process every single episode before moving on to the next one. It's so good. Also, it was animated by the same studio as AOT, so do with that what you will. Finally, the last recommendation of the night, God Eater. Probably the most similar show compared to the other two, wanting to wipe out the monster that threatens humanity to a squad that everyone loves. I'd say think of this show as a future Attack on Titan. Ooh, what a list! I really hope that I found something to your liking, as well as not missing too many of the greats. If I missed any or if you have other recommendations, please leave them in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of it, none of it, whatever you want. Join my Discord server, it's really fun, and just let me know what you recommend especially. What shows should you watch if you like certain anime? Did the shows that I mentioned match? And which shows did I mention spark your interest? Let me know. It's not like I care or anything.